Welcome to the Med Talk podcast, where we will explore the latest advancements in medicine. I'm your host, Sebastian, and today we have Dr. Vanessa, an expert in genomics. Let's welcome Dr. Vanessa.
Hi, thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, let's get started. For those who may be not familiar with this topic, including me, what exactly is a genome?
Basically, a genome is like a special code that guides how our bodies develop and function. It's made up of little building blocks that are called DNA and can be found in almost every single cell of our bodies.
Oh, so it's like a blueprint for life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I've heard that the DNA is composed of four different bases, right? Represented by the letters A, T, C, but I don't remember the fourth one.
Letter G.
Oh, okay. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
For sure. So basically, those are the four DNA bases. They join together in a very specific order to form the instructions that our bodies need to follow. It's actually very fascinating to think that every living thing has its own unique genome, like a genetic fingerprint, even.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. I have a question for you. Is it pronounced genome or genome?
It's pronounced genome.
Okay, so I'll refer to it as genome now.
Okay.
Um. Okay, so the complexity of all of this is just mind blowing. Well, let's talk about now about the project itself. I've heard it was a massive international endeavor. So what was its purpose?
You're right. The Human Genome Project, which ran from like the 90s to 2003, basically aimed to generate the first sequence of human genome. It was considered one of the most ambitious and important research projects in human history.
That's just impressive. I've read that it was initially expected to take around 15 years or 16, I don't remember well, but it was completed in just 13, right? How did they manage to do all of this so quick?
Yeah, it took 13 years, and it was actually very surprising that the project finished like ahead of schedule, and even with less funding than it was estimated.
Oh, wait. So you're telling me that they invested less?
Yes.
Okay, how did they do that?
Basically, scientists made very like significant advancements in the DNA sequence technology, and like creating using methods like the Sanger sequence technique. They were able to advance in time and also spend less in the project itself.
Wow, that's remarkable. I really don't have any words. So, what were some of the major discoveries that came out during this project?
So one of the most significant outcomes of the project was that the identification and mapping of like the thousands of genes in the human genome. So prior to the project, only like a fraction of the genes were actually known. So this knowledge has helped us and the medical field to get a better understanding of genetics, diseases, and develop targeted treatments.
Oh, so you're telling me that with this, I can actually have a little bit more, apart from information from my genetics, a more specific and advanced treatment for any disease I may have?
Yes, exactly.
Wow, so this has actually revolutionized our understanding, and I think a pretty much wide field, right? So, in more than 20 years through, have you been able to create any specific treatment or personalized, I don't know, medication for a patient or anyone actually?
Yeah, actually. So, with a complete mapping of the human genome, doctors are now able to analyze an individual's genetic profile and do a specific treatment for them. So, this research has resulted in a very effective and efficient personalized medicine with fewer side effects.
That is truly astonishing. And speaking of technology, since I'm kind of a geek about it, how has the Human Genome Project influenced advancements in genetic research?
So the project like generated an immense amount of data, like a lot of data throughout its ongoing, which spurred the development of new computational tools and methods to process and analyze it. So these technological advancements have led to new insights in genetic and genomics. So it basically helped us to further understand diseases and genetic analysis.
It's truly incredible how science and technology can go hand in hand to push boundaries, nowadays, especially of knowledge boundaries. But before we wrap up, is there anything else that you would like to tell me? Because I'm really intrigued about this topic.
Yeah, sure. One thing I really wanted to mention, or like one last thing, is that the Human Genome Project has not only expanded our understandings of genetics, but has also paved the ways for further research and innovations. It basically continues to drive progress in rare disease diagnosis, cancer management, and even the development of new genetic therapies. So it's just a completely amazing. It's just has revolutionized medicine a lot, and so has made a huge impact on our society.
That's fantastic. But sadly, we've reached the end of our podcast. I wanted to thank you, the big expert,
Thank you.
for enlightening us today with the wonders of genomes and the incredible impact of this project. I really was intrigued and I really liked the topic. The conversation was actually pretty interesting. And thank also you listeners for joining us today. That's what makes this podcast so special. But until the next time, and as always, stay curious.